often leadership is more about a popularity contest than really about your character. And it's really about obtaining a position and having power and telling other people what you want them to do. And we think this is what leadership is all about. And so it becomes very much a selfish thing where it's all about me. And I don't know if you ever have felt this way, but I've heard it said if you want something done right, you better do it yourself. And so the idea is there is that other people just mess it up and they won't do it the way you would do it and the way you want it done. So go ahead and just do it yourself and keep it to yourself. And believe it or not, this is the kind of leadership that Moses had. And he's leading the people through the through the desert and to the mountain of God. And there, a time came when his father-in-law, Jethro, they were in the same area, and so he comes to visit Moses. And there, when he visits Moses, he's able to hear about how God saved the children of Israel from the hands of the Egyptians. And he begins to praise God and worship him and give him sacrifices. But then the next day, Jethro goes ahead and sees Moses get up and start his job. And so Moses goes and he sits down. It says all the children of Israel, in Exodus 18, it says that all the children of Israel lined up and began giving Moses their problems and having him decide on issues and knowing God's will. And so Moses was leading. It was all himself with the 2 million people in Israel. And so they had to come directly to him. Well, if you can imagine how frustrating that would be to get up in the morning, wait all day in this line, and maybe not even be able to make it to the front because there's so many people, and your problem still isn't settled. How frustrating that would be. And so Jethro tells Moses, look, what you're doing is not good. I don't know if you've ever been told that, hey, you're doing the wrong thing. But so often we're used to just blowing that off and saying, you don't understand, you don't know. But Moses doesn't do that. He listens to his father-in-law. And his father-in-law begins to tell him how he needs to enlist other people to help him lead, and that he can't lead by himself. If he does, then he's going to be worn out, his people will be frustrated, and he won't be able to do it. And so he, out of love and care for his son-in-law, Jethro gives him this advice. In verse 27 it says, in verse 21 it says, moreover, look for able men from all the people, men who fear God, who are trustworthy and hate a bribe, and place such men over the people as chiefs of thousands, of hundreds, of fifties, and tens. And so here he gives them this advice and says, look, Moses, you need to look for people who you can share this responsibility with. And make sure these people are people of character. Don't keep it to yourself. Give it to them and let them handle these situations. And if things are too tough for them, then they'll go to the next level, all the way to Moses. And there is actually a sixth tier, a sixth level process of leadership there that the nation would be able to work up to Moses if there was a difficult situation. And he says, if you do this, if you lead in this way by sharing your leadership, looking for men of character who are capable, go ahead, this will be the results of it. He says that it will be easier for you and for them, that you will be able to endure this time, and that the people will be at peace. Well, that would be so much better to be able to follow someone who's able to help you in your life so that you could just live at peace, and that leader would be able to endure it and be able to live, and it will be easier for everyone involved. And that's the kind of leadership that Jethro is giving to him. But notice what he emphasizes here. He says that, there's different levels of leadership, and so you place men in certain ones, but it's all based on who they are, their character. And it's not based on a popularity contest of Moses' friends. Moses didn't choose his friends. He chose people who were people of character. And those are the people that he had who helped him lead. What kind of person are you? Are you a person of character? Are you one of the people that Moses would have chosen to lead? Are you a person who fears God and who is trustworthy? Or are you a person that just does whatever your friends do, or that would be more along the lines of a popularity contest? Here, leadership is so important because when we're able to give it to others and help other people, what the result is that it's easier for you, it's better for them and you, and they're at peace and you can endure it. Leadership is an uphill battle. It's not easy, but it is something that you can endure. It's something that you can do, but you cannot do it alone. You have to share it with others. This really is about you trusting in God and who God is. God here, notice that he shared his leadership, God shared his leadership and authority with Moses. Moses then is able to share it with other people. And it's when he does that that it's easier and it's better for everyone involved and people are at peace. And God used Jethro to be able to give him this advice. Who's someone in your life that you can lead? Is there somebody that you can work on right now and that you can help in a small way? And begin there. Begin being a person of character and of influence by helping the people around you. And then as you develop those things and more people are aware of those things, you'll grow in your leadership and you'll be in more and more leadership positions. And as you do that, God will use you to bring more and more people to himself, and people will be able to live at peace. I hope this has been an encouragement to you, and have a great week. Bye.